it's Mrs S here. Welcome to your latest instalment on UK river landscapes. Today we're going to be looking at a UK river case study, and this is for paper 1 on AQA GCSE Geography. So hopefully we are going to be looking at a full course of the river Tees today, and the landforms of erosion and deposition and the processes that have gone into that. So it's a slightly longer tutorial today, and I apologise for that, but we want to smash through this today and make sure we cover all the landforms, all the key essential processes. And I'm going to be talking about some of the human influences on this river as well. So let's get straight to it and look at the source of the River Tees. That is where the River Tees starts. And as you can see, that is in the Pennine Hills in northern England, often called the backbone of England. Crossfell is the actual starting point, the feeding point, if you like, for this amazing river. It's at 893 metres above sea level, so nearly 900 metres above sea level. And this area receives over 2,800 millimetres of rain. So we can see why it's getting this dramatic landscape. Huge amounts of rainfall, huge amounts of erosion, lots of weathering in this upper course area as well. This is one of the wettest parts of the UK, and indeed the highest point in the whole of the Pennine Hills. The area is mostly made up of carboniferous rocks, mostly sedimentary like sandstones and limestones. And you can see that V-shaped valley coming together. So let's look at the upper course. We can see from this Google map that we're seeing some real changes starting to happen on the river as water gathers in this area. We have some human influences as well, like Cow Green Reservoir. This was built in 1967 to provide a reliable flow of water, up to 300 million litres per day, in fact, of drinking water. But look at the natural features in this area. This is Cauldron Snout, a dramatic waterfall. And this is at 500 metres above sea level, extremely powerful flow, and that's because it's flowing over igneous rock called dolerite. You can see it's quite dark in appearance. That's very consistent with most igneous rocks. Let's zoom along then into a sort of south easterly direction towards High Force Waterfall, and this is a classic landform on the River Tees in its upper course. We can see here we've got that classic overhang. And this is the windsill, which is the igneous rock, overlying limestone sedimentary rock, which, as you can see here, is being undercut by the force of that water with a dramatic plunge pool underneath. This is still at 350 metres above sea level and getting nearly 2,000 millimetres of rainfall. So you can see that's adding to that forceful water. Lots of hydraulic action, lots of abrasion, lots of attrition, all of those fantastic erosional processes that we've talked about before. So you can see that the river is really starting to take shape at this point. So let's move into the middle course, and we're going to go straight to Barnard Castle, so called because of the position of the castle there, as you can see, next to the river. And you can see the river is really starting to widen now due to lateral erosion. This is an area of sandstone, and we're still around 150 metres above sea level. So quite a way into the course of the river. I should add that the whole river itself is about 100 kilometres in length. So now into the lower course, you can see that it's much wider. The surrounding area is much, much flatter. And here we are in Yarm, where we have a settlement actually within the meander of a river. And obviously that means lots of river defence is needed in this area. There are hard walls, hard engineering, which run for about 1.5 kilometres around Yarm. And here we are travelling towards Teesside through Stockton and into Middlesbrough as we get towards Seal Sands, which marks the end of the flow of the river as it joins the North Sea. So here we are at the mouth. Classic depositional feature. You can see all that sandy material, muds and silts, which have built up. And this has become an essential habitat for creatures, wildlife, marine creatures like seals, but also a lot of bird life. And that is why it's now become a site of special scientific interest. And you can see from these photographs that those sort of dunes that are formed in this area, classic habitat. Oh, hello, I don't know who that was. We've got an offshore wind farm here, and you can see the deposition. Look at all those sands and silts. It's incredibly flat and low lying, but look at that, exposed to really high winds. So that is the end of our video today. I hope that's been helpful. Here are the revision questions, and if you're not sure about any, pause and go back and rewatch the video again. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you very soon for another instalment of Hum's Mum's Geography. Thank you. Bye.